What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Thinktwice, a weekly show where we talk about things going on in the world of Magic the Gathering, gaming, and pop culture. For episode 23, I'm your host, Justin Parnell, joined by my co-host, Ali Aintrazi. And this week, we're going to be talking about what we're looking forward to in the world of Magic in 2018, how different Commander is 1v1 versus multiplayer, and of course, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Well, I guess we might as well talk about question of the week from last week.
You sound so deflated.
It's because I'm defeated. I'm emotionally defeated. I'm physically defeated. I'm digitally defeated.
Let the record show that the people of the magic world
Let the record show.
Agrees with Ollie that Pauper could be a Grand Prix format.
Continuously supported Grand Prix format of that, and I just don't buy it. 53% of people, and we had almost 500 votes for this poll, 53% of people, so roughly 260 people, agreed that yes, Pauper could be a continuously supported Grand Prix format, which I believe is crazy, and the rest, 47% of people, agree with me and are much more sane.
I don't think so. I think you're just being a salty loser.
I'm not.
You're just wrong. So
you were here for my argument last week.
What does the record show?
Your vote. I should have swayed your vote. You should have voted for my side of the poll after hearing my argument.
But what does the record show?
The record shows that you won.
All right, so we'll go with that.
Well, that was my week. I just sat and just looked at that poll every day.
All weekend?
Refresh.
Wow.
Refresh. Yeah, it was a rough week for me.
Well, last week I talked about how I became a Twitch affiliate.
You did.
I also got my first subscriber and my first bit donation, and they both weren't by Justin.
I don't even know what a bit donation is. What is that? I literally don't even know what that is.
It's like throwing money at the. It's like putting money in someone's cup. It's like a tip.
So like a homeless person, like you walk by and they're
they have like a little a cup out. You just throw some money in there, some bits in there.
Some bits. Some bits.
There's some bits in there.
All those bits that you got in your wallet. Those little bits.
No, some kibbles and bits. You just throw some kibbles and bits in there.
So you're feeding them dog food.
I mean, basically.
Look, I'll feed you dog food if you want.
People are basically feeding me my food. So
if that's what you want,
it's
same
thing.
Don't come down on me because I wasn't your first sub. Before the podcast started, I was like, I don't even know how to do it. You got to walk me through it. And then I did it. Then I subscribed, and then you complained. You're like, well, you didn't do it on stream. It's like, why? I did what you wanted.
Now you're the second sub.
Nothing is good enough for you.
Nothing.
I just can't do anything right. I'm now a subscriber. So what happens when I'm a subscriber? You guys listening, you guys think that I'm just like doing this to like softball Ollie up a question? I literally don't know. So please enlighten me.
Well, now you're just a subscriber. You get no ads, and
that's good.
And you get a little emoticon from my channel, which is Bruce howling. Bruce is
I do love Bruce.
My dog.
Bruce.
And by the way, guys, if you are an Amazon Prime, if you have Amazon Prime, it means you have every month you can give someone a subscription on Twitch. If you love me, you can go to www.twitch.tv/Ali Aintrazi and subscribe that way for free. If you have Amazon Prime.
Which you should, because it's a great service.
Amazon Prime is sweet.
It is good. It's good. It's good stuff.
That's my life.
Yeah. I was clicking refresh on the question of the week last week, and you were waiting for me to subscribe, and then we both were just sad.
Yeah, nothing happened.
'Tis the holiday season for sadness.
Fa la 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 la.
Yeah, but one thing that will not make us sad is looking forward to the next year in Magic. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to jump out for just a moment, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about all the things we're looking forward to in the world of MTG in 2018. So, Ollie.
So, Justin.
What are you looking forward to the most over the next 12 months in the form of Magic?
The team events, for sure.
There's so many of them.
Well, all the ones we're playing together.
Okay. Remains to be seen the total number. But
yes, at least one, possibly up to 3.
Maybe more than that. Who knows? Who really knows? One for sure. One for sure.
Only Kruphix knows. That's it.
I don't know. I think Kruphix is he's a hot air blower.
Oh no, he knows. All right, he knows. He knows all.
I don't think he does. But anyway, I digress. I'm also looking forward to team events.
Is that it? Just team events?
No. I don't know. That's not the thing I'm most looking forward to. But
dang,
in the short term, no. Listen,
I put you first.
Don't do this. Don't do me like this.
Then you crucify me.
Here, no. Okay. What I'm looking forward to the most is the return to Dominaria. And you can't tell me you are not incredibly excited for that.
I'm definitely excited for that. Definitely excited for that.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Return to Dominaria. And Rivals Lake Salon, but definitely more so Dominaria.
I don't care about Rivals. I'm not like I was ultimately sold on the Ixalan story until the very end when I was unsold on it. But like the setting is just like I'm just not in for the setting. So I'm ready for it to be done. Like if they make the story great, that's fine. But like I'm not, as I've said before, I'm not like a dinosaurs guy or pirates guy or a merfolk guy or a vampires guy. So,
man, what kind of guy are you? Just a guy?
Yeah, like I like zombies. I like a zombie. I like a Liliana Planeswalker. I like that. I like a Nicol Bolas. As far
so Almond Cat basically.
No, I mean, well, yeah. I mean, honestly,
yeah.
That was like Amonkhet has been my favorite from like a design and like the look of it standpoint. Is like one of my favorite blocks in a while. But we'll get to that later because we're talking about 2018 right now.
Yeah.
So, but Dominaria, that's what I'm all in.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Like, what's happened to Dominaria and all this time has passed? You know, we know Urza's gone. We know like there's probably some time rifts there somewhere in Dominaria.
Something's going on. Something's kind of funky going on in Dominaria.
Yeah, but Bolas has something planned, right?
Potentially. He's got some kind of plan. We know that.
So why are we going back to Dominaria?
We don't know. But it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome from a story-wise and cards-wise because Richard Garfield is on the design team for Dominaria.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, yeah.
The creator himself with a capital C.
The curator.
No, not the curator, the creator.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the creator. That's how I like to refer to Dr. Richard Garfield, as the creator. Right. With a capital C, to be clear.
Right, so he's not getting us Murlocs, dragons, or beasts.
No, one, because Murlocs are in Hearthstone. Two, we're not getting dragons or beasts because that would be the curator, not the creator.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, that's pretty exciting because he's obviously made some very powerful cards in the past.
Yeah.
Or designed some very, very powerful cards. But it's more important. I'm in it for the lore. Like, we saw a peek of Jay Ballard. She's super old. She's a grandma.
Yeah.
And but that's where Chandra got her, like, inspiration.
Yep.
She's known as, like, one of the best power mages ever. or pyromancers ever, and it's sweet. Like, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what else there is. Like, is there any? I know technically, or quote unquote technically, Yawgmoth is dead, but is there any hint of Yawgmoth or any oil there?
I know, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Something. There will be something.
There has to be something.
I'm a little, I don't want to say concerned, but it's one set. Like, it's not multiple sets. It's just one set. So, but we don't know what's going to happen after that. Like, we don't know how long we're going to stay on Dominaria. So
yeah, I don't think it's going to be Bolus because we just had Bolus Planeswalker.
I mean, Bolus. I don't think we'll have a Bolus Planeswalker card. I think Bolus will be involved, but I don't know. I think there's so many unknowns. I think there'll be. This could literally be our Dominaria speculation. Could literally be an entire episode on its own.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely excited for that.
Cards-wise, story-wise, both excited for Dominaria.
More so story-wise for me.
But. Yeah, more so card-wise than me. Not that I'm not excited about the story, but I'm really excited because Richard Garfield is someone who pushes the envelope on things that you can do. Like, Innistrad was his last set that he was on. And I think Innistrad's pretty universally beloved.
Yeah, it is. It is
from everyone. So yes, I'm really excited to see what they do, because this is like their biggest property as far as like inside of Magic. Like, they spent the most time there story wise and printed the most cards from that plane. So
there's a ton of lore in Dominaria and Urza and the Brothers' War and Yawgmoth and all that stuff. So.
Totally, and it's a pretty tall mountain to climb. So I imagine that they're not going back to mess it up. Simply put,
I hope it's a lot of like nostalgic characters, but I do hope there's also like a new bad, maybe.
Yeah. I could be down for that. That. There's got to be a little new with the old. It's got to be. You can't just be all old stuff.
I wonder if we'll get any new any old mechanics like suspend or flashback, because suspend goes with time rifts where.
Yeah, that was Time Spiral's thing. Everything was about time. And messing with time. So, I don't know. We'll see. Time Spiral was the last time we were in Dominaria from a card and story perspective. So,
yeah.
I don't know if we're going to take many cues from Time Spiral. But, time will have some sort of factor. There's no way it doesn't. So, but Dominaria's not, that's not the only thing we're going to be going back to this year. Because, actually, earlier this week, Wizards announced that they're essentially bringing back event decks in the form of things called challenger decks. And they're getting rid of dual decks to make space for this on their calendar. So some people are wondering, like, why is this important? Well, one, they said that they would be creating decks based on what they felt like were there would be 4 decks each, like, per cycle. And it was going to be standard decks you could play out of the box at F&M and have them be realistically competitive and have a lot of rares and mythic rares in them. Interesting from a reprint standpoint, because there's not really a realistic way for them to reprint a ton of expensive cards in standard as it stands right now. They kind of just don't have it set up. They have the Planeswalker decks and not many other supplementary products to be able to do that. Obviously, reprints affect the price on cards. I hope they reprint good stuff so the price of cards goes down. But
did they put an MSRP on the event decks?
Not yet.
How much do you think?
Or maybe they did. You know what? Let me double check that. Either they didn't, or it's $24.99. Challenger decks and the final dual decks. Let me just double check. I got it right here.
$24.99 actually isn't a bad price for
$29.99. Yes,
that's still not bad.
It's not bad, and that's why I'm not exactly sure
how powerful they can push them, or how much they can push them up on that.
But they can push them as powerful as they want to. I mean, they could literally put $100 retail worth of cards in them
if they want to. Sure.
Yeah. Well, these are things that you're going to be able to get at like Walmart, Target. So that's going to keep the price down.
I don't think they'll do that. Like, I don't think they'll just go like that hard.
Well, probably not, but when they're making the decision for these decks, like, what if they put the Scarab God on one of these decks?
That's huge.
Yeah, but they finalized this when the Scarab God was probably like $15, $20, Well,
that's good then.
And then the Scarab God's then $50, so you just don't know.
I mean, getting a Chandra would be sweet. Getting a Chandra would be sweet too.
Yeah, and like, are they going to put Planeswalkers in these decks? Are they going to put actual played Mythic rares in these decks? Is it going to be 4 energy decks? It remains to be seen. We just don't know. It says 4 competitive decks at FNM, so you have obviously the 4 most competitive decks at FNM are Teamer Energy, Teamer Energy with Black, Sultai Energy, and Electrostatic Pummeler.
It depends on your FNM. I've seen FNMs vary so widely from like place to place. So some are very loosey goosey. Others are like pretty cutthroat.
Sure, but if they're talking about like these are decks you can overall over the whole world you can buy
average on
standard,
average.
like don't you think it would be like a bit disingenuous if they put one of these decks out and one of them was not an energy based deck?
Yeah. I think you have to. I think what would be sweet though is like to have like maybe it'd be kind of cool to like have like a special FNM where you can only play a challenger deck. You just pick one of the challenger decks.
I actually think that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, and hopefully like they're all of decent
of power
skill
level.
Power level. Yes,
yeah,
not skill, power level. Yeah,
yeah. I do think that would be cool. And that would be a challenge, no pun intended, for them to do. I don't know. And it's going to be interesting because I'm sure some of these decks are easier to upgrade than the others.
Yeah.
So like if you have cards to supplement the decks that you already have, you can do that. But that is something that like for 2018, I am legitimately looking forward to these products. There was a time when like event decks were actually awesome. Like when they first came out with them for the first like 2 years, they were really great.
Baxter and Scars of Meriden?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were live for a short while. Yeah.
Yeah, and they actually went all the way until Kanzatark here, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, they also gave you like a decent, even new formats. They gave like a decent archetype to build off of. I remember it was like a contested war zone and some kind of aggro deck. It was kind of cool.
They started in. So I actually started in Zendikar.
Okay.
Because the vampire one had like a lot of good vampires, like Colostra Highborn, even had like a Verdant Catacombs in it.
I remember that.
And then like when they went to the Mirrodin block, the Mirrodin Besiege one had like one of them had like 2 Stoneforge Mystics in the deck, and the other one had like a ton of good rares. It had like Green Sun Zenith, Inkmoth Nexus, of course blanking on cards, but it's like it's like it had multiple
powerhouses.
Like really powerful cards. I just listed 2 cards that are banned in Modern and 2 event decks that were given in Standard. So
I think it'd be cool. I was gonna say like I think it's nice too that like sometimes people go and buy like a dual decks to battle at home.
Yeah,
and then you just pick one like Leona versus Garrick. Like let's say you just want to pick Leona every time because it's stronger.
Of course, which she is, of course. Yeah,
or whatever, and then. Now, like, that gets kind of annoying because, like, you always feel like you're playing the worst deck, and when you're playing, you play, like, not to full extent. This is kind of like buying a commander deck. It's yours. It's the one you want, and you can upgrade it if you want. It's just an excellent start. Like, it's like buying a commander deck, but for standard, and then you can play with your friends that if you want to upgrade it, you can for, like, local casual play or FNM or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good change, and it's awesome to see. Yeah, I'm also excited to see what's going to come in those event decks.
Yeah, because this could be. I mean, like legitimately, if they wanted this could be completely landscape changing for how expensive Standard is.
I hope so.
You have 4 decks. You can put a lot of really good cards across 4 decks.
I agree. And I hope that's the case.
Yeah, it's a small card pool, so you could literally fill these decks up with like legitimately good cards and cut the price of Standard in half, and I think I think they should do that. Like,
I think so too. I mean,
you do hurt like booster packs, like just opening booster packs overall, because it's just like, well, why would I buy a booster box when I can buy 4 of these decks for $30 more at MSRP, right? And I'm getting like a ton of good cards where I'm just kind of playing the booster pack lottery. But then that goes to, well, most people, I think most local game stores open booster packs through playing limited anyway. So
Yeah, I agree with that too.
So I really hope this has a positive effect on standard.
Me too. I think it will price wise. It should. Like, there's no way it's going to increase the price. It can only make standard more affordable, and I think standard should be affordable for
Everyone.
Mostly you should target the teenager at school, or high school or college. Those should be the people that you target, because they're the ones that will get into it and play on their off time, and they have the most free time
and the least money. The time to money scale is tilted heavily versus time.
Yeah, exactly. So if they can afford to play competitively, like maybe they'll be more attracted to Magic and get more friends into Magic and maybe travel for Magic, and that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah. That's how you grow the game, right?
Yeah. Instead of having like one or two people be good at the game and can afford cards because they work or parents or whatever, now you have more people entering and be able to afford the game, at least for the standard portion.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that, like I said, I think it could go a long way to addressing a problem that standard has had in the past.
Agreed. So we have one more thing coming up next year. We don't know exactly what the time, but MTG Arena should be coming out too.
Yes. It's currently in beta right now.
Right.
I know that Director John Choi has access to the beta, but he refuses to tell us anything because he's deciding to go by the NDA that he signed, which is annoying the crap out of me, but I guess it's probably a good idea.
No, I agree. Yeah, he can't say anything, but that is something I'm excited for. Like, I really hope. Like, I sold my MTGO collection in anticipation for it. I've set aside X amount of dollars that was on Magic Online to put into MTG Arena, and I'm hoping the money that I put into MTG Arena allows me to build any deck in standard that I want.
I hope so too. I mean, like, you and I both play Hearthstone. I play Hearthstone because I do think it's a nice game, but it's also very convenient, and it's quick. I don't have to put a lot of like my time resources into it. And if MTG Arena can do a similar thing where I can just play Magic and play Standard and Limited in a short time period and not have to put a ton of money into it, because obviously I own paper cards too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm your target market. You need to make me want to play this over these other games that I'd be playing.
Yeah. I mean, like, if I can pay you for Magic, if I can pay you $240 and be able to play any standard deck I want anytime for the legality of its duration.
Yeah.
Like, I would do that.
I think you'd have a ton of people do that.
Yeah, and things like Hearthstone has that. If you buy like the max thing, 60 packs for whatever dollars, like 4 times, you basically have the whole set.
Well, you can only do that. You can only do the pre-order once, but I do see what you're saying. I'm saying
if you buy like 240 packs, that's basically that's $240 or $250 or whatever it is. That's basically that whole set of cards from that set, and you can build anything.
It's a little different in Magic because you need twice as many cards,
right? And also Magic, you get your money back traditionally.
Well, yeah. Will you be able to do that in MTG Arena? That's a really good question that we frankly have no idea.
Yeah, we have no idea. Only time will tell.
Time will tell.
I'm not too worried about that. I'm just, I don't care if I get my money back. If I put like X amount of dollars, like if I can get everything, it's convenient. I can play it on my phone, or I can, It's I can stream it and it's entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not boring.
If you make it worth it for me, then I'll happily pay what you're asking me to pay. Well,
Absolutely.
To a degree, because
Of course, there's limit. Yes. But I think they have to be cheaper than Hearthstone because I think you want to attract the
absolutely
Hearthstone crowd.
I think that is the most important thing. Honestly, I think it's more important than literally any other thing you could do for MTG Arena. Is be cheaper than your biggest competitor.
Absolutely, be cheaper and copy a lot of things. Like I know it sounds funny, but like make sure you have quests. Make sure you have daily things you can do.
Yeah, they got a lot right. Hearthstone gets a lot right.
Yeah, I agree.
In the space that they're in. Yeah,
and make it super user friendly, please. Have something like Tavern Brawl where I can log in and just play a fun game of Magic without having to buy any cards and just get a pack per week. Like that's excellent. Like
yeah,
I love the Tavern Brawls in Hearthstone where I can go in and don't have to build a deck. I can just go ahead and play.
Yeah, those are the best ones for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to build a deck. Those I play one time, that's it. But the ones I can just play for whatever.
When you can just click the Tavern Brawl button and then just click Brawl.
Yeah,
and you're in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those are the best. I hope Magic can emulate that. I legitimately do. As someone who is,
I do too. Magic is such a great game compared to Hearthstone. Like
it's the best game of any game. This is the best.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about it. That's why we talk about it every week. We talk not even every week. We talk about this every day of our lives. We interact with Magic.
It's true. I mean, I love Hearthstone. I love Hex. But I hope Magic gets its stuff together and
I want Magic. I want MTG Arena to crush everything else because I want it to be that good. I think this is one of the next steps to make this game the worldwide phenomenon that it can be and has the potential to be if you get this right. It's just
absolutely
you have to do it.
Yeah, this is a huge turn point. This is a huge turn point for hit or miss. We'll see.
Yep. So. I mean, man, this is honestly MTG Arena. That's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most in the next year because it has the potential to be
potential.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the huge potential. So.
Yep. Me too. All right.
You guys should let us know what you're looking forward to most in Magic at 2018. You can let us know at jparnell1 on Twitter, at Ali Aintrazi on Twitter, or at Thinktwice MTG on Twitter. We want to hear what you guys want to see or play or talk about in 2018. So maybe that's stuff we'll talk about later in 2018 too as we get on with it. Ollie, anything else on this topic?
No, I'm good.
All right. We're going to exit for a moment, and we're going to be back to talk about Commander, the difference between 1v1 and multiplayer.
All right. So we finally had the battle of Kruphix versus Erebos. Justin came to visit me. I ordered some cards from SCG on top of the cards that I had at home. I decided to build I'm going to butcher this name again. Rashmi, Eternity's Crafter. Decided to build her. And Justin actually helped me build my deck. He gave me some advice and what to play, not to play, what's too much, what should be shaved. All in all, we stuck with. I was able to pick my theme was basically just more so turns than anything else, just taking turns. I didn't have temporal manipulation or capture of Jingzhou or any of those super expensive cards. I guess those are the only two.
Those are the two.
Yeah, but anyways, I built that. We jammed some games. It was I was able to beat his Yehini deck.
He was.
And then we played Ulash, not Ulash, the Hate Seed. Yeah, Ulash, the Hate Seed. That one was more even because we were both ramping, and he could kill me with his. He had some combos in there that was pretty deadly. That was probably the scariest deck, and then but I think that was about even. And then I played against his Ojitai blue-white control deck with counter magic and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that one I just won because of experience. the experience of playing blue-green ramp decks against control decks forever and ever and ever and ever.
I'm going to disagree as to why you won.
Okay, all right. But I just want to point out that Simic, Kruphix, MVP, best in the world, and Kruphix won out the day like it always does.
Yeah, I never drew Erebos in my deck. Did you ever draw Kruphix?
No, I didn't draw Kruphix.
Why? Do you think there's a reason for that?
Well, Kruphix wasn't in my deck.
Oh, Kruphix wasn't in your deck.
No, he wasn't in my deck. I would make him my general, but then that gets a pretty pretty degenerate.
I was praying to the Shrine of Erebos the entire time. Erebos is most certainly in my Yeheni deck, without a doubt.
Right, but Kruphix sees all, knows past, present, future. He knows I'm devoted to him. He's gonna help me out no matter what. He's not biased. He's not like, if you don't worship me, I'm gonna kill you. He knows what's in my heart, in my mind, it's in my future. Like Kruphix knows all. He sees all. He knows that the past is the future, the present is yesterday, whatever. He knows.
Kruphix is so overrated. He pawns himself off as being mysterious and all-knowing.
He doesn't.
He does. He totally does.
He is.
No.
He's
and
like
that's why you didn't even have him in your deck. Let me tell you something about Ollie's deck.
Let me tell you why I didn't play Kruphix as my deck, as my general.
Well, I mean, you don't have to have him as your general. Your general should be themed about your deck, so that's fine. Like, Erebos is just in my deck. It's not my general because with the Theros gods, you have to be pretty, like, they don't even start as creatures. So they're like all like control decks by nature.
They're powerful, yeah.
They are powerful, but they're not. They're also kind of linear because they all want you to just have a bunch of permanents in play.
Sure. Well, Kruphix leads to like me, you playing basically Eldrazi, and I was trying not to play Eldrazi. Because like if you play Kruphix, like you don't have to, but like he literally turns your mana into colorless mana. Like
yeah, I know what he does. Yeah. I'm surprised you do since he wasn't even in your deck. Since you talk about Kruphix all the time, and yet here we are. Ollie has this Simic deck, and Kruphix nowhere to be found.
Kruphix just knows, man. Like again, I don't have to worship him.
You keep saying that. You keep saying that.
I know that. I know that. See, like I believe in him, he believes in me. So
is that how that works? Just like Santa.
Yeah. Well, just because he's on my deck doesn't mean we're not together.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm sure. I hope Kruphix says the same thing.
Oh, he does. I know it.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right, go ahead. What you got to say?
Just wait till we have Kruphix as a guest on the show.
Oh man, we should.
He's going to let you know his true feelings.
No, he's not. Kruphix.
He won't let you know his true feelings? That's probably true. He'll probably lie to you about it.
Like, he'll lie to you. He's cryptic. He's the god of gods, basically. Like, he's the one that doesn't interfere much.
So when Ollie built his deck, he laid out about 100 cards.
Yeah.
100 cards, and I was like, okay, all right, so what are you going to cut? You're like, what do you mean cut? I was like, okay, well, you're playing a ramp deck, so you probably need lands. So we need to cut some cards for lands.
That was real quick. Yeah, I had 100, like basically 100 cards out.
You legitimately had 97 cards. We counted them.
Yeah, but essentially 100 cards out, and I was just like looking at them all like, these cards look also like all the cards look so sweet. I'm like, I was pumped to play them all. Then Justin over here is like, Ollie, you can't play all these. This is more than 100 cards.
You can't play them all.
What are you gonna play? 3 lands?
You can't play them all. So we cut it down, and I tried to express to Ollie the power level of his deck. As he has Seedboard Muse and Teferi and a Deadeye Navigator and Omniscience and stuff like that, in this pile of blue-green goodness. Now, some of those cards got cut ultimately, but your theme was a little loosey-goosey.
Yeah, I wasn't very focused on a particular theme. I was basically playing Simic fun cards. Or Simic cards all he likes.
Yeah, which is Simic good stuff because you like good cards. You had one card that I think was like a legitimately fun card.
An Ollie card?
An Ollie card that wasn't like, this is really fun, but it's also like in the 1% of the best blue or green cards.
Well, go ahead. I'll let you finish that first.
Unexpected results.
Yeah,
which was great. Which and that's that's what you should be doing in your deck.
You know, I played that at Pro Tour. I do know
that. I do know that.
Okay, yeah.
Didn't you get Shaheen to play that too?
No. Shaheen got me to play Mass Polymorph.
That was it. Yeah, I knew one of you got the other one to play a terrible card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mine wasn't terrible.
But here it is in your commander deck. Not to say that that's terrible, but this is the format it was built for. This is where you should have unexpected results.
Right, but here's the thing about my deck, like my commander Simic commander deck. You're like, oh, Ollie played so many like no theme, very powerful cards.
Yeah.
But I tend to play commander cards in constructed formats, like in standard or in or even in modern, like sometimes in Legacy. Remember in Legacy a long time ago we played that turn deck in Legacy?
I played it too.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
we actually both did well. You actually both did well the tournament we played it in.
We played Maloku in Legacy, like.
I know.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, this is the thing, like, so I'm basically I'm a commander player at heart, and I try to make it, and then try to play them in constructed formats. So when it comes time to commander, it's like, oh, you're playing all these powerful cards. I'm like, but these are all sweet. These are all commander cards too, I guess.
It's
like I was playing like Swarm Intelligence, right? And that card is obviously makes sense. It's like if someone plays that, you better be careful or kill that player or something, right?
Yes. You remove Swarm Intelligence from the game. Sometimes that means remove its controller from the game.
Sure, but I played that in Standard. Omniscience, also another card that if played Commander, you're probably dead or...
someone loses.
Someone loses, yes.
Yeah.
And I played that card in Standard in top 16 to Grand Prix. So, like...
It's true.
Yeah, these are all cards that are just, like, super fun that I enjoy.
Now, you were going on and on about how you kept beating me, and you did. For the most part, you did beat me in the matches. And
hey, I said Ulash went about even.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And I didn't beat you over the head with it. I didn't brag about it too much.
You were gloating. You're doing the silent gloat. Like I'm going to be honorable and not talk about it.
Well, your gloat's obnoxious, so.
Look, I was just trying to tell you, it's a different world out there when you're not just playing against one player. You're not gonna when you start laying all these sledgehammers down, like 3 people a lot more difficult to defeat than 1 when you can focus all of your removal and your counter spells and all of your effects, your powerful effects on one person.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that.
And I think once you start getting a couple multiplayer games in, your deck's going to change a lot more to have a lot more global effects. I don't want to say be slower, but be more defensive.
Yes, I used to way back in the day. I used to play Commander. I had a blue-white Commander deck, which was Grand Arbiter, and I played a lot of heads up Commander. It was basically just 1v1. It wasn't like French or anything, just Commander heads up.
Yeah,
and I kept winning. Like I tuned it better to be better in 1v1. Like had counterspells are obviously insane in 1v1. So are Planeswalkers that are much stronger in 1v1.
Yeah, you have less people attacking them.
Exactly. So I did that. And then once I started playing in like a pod or with a group, I realized that it was much harder to win, but I was basically the one that like would keep the game in check. Like no one was going to combo off and kill other people. Like I was like basically like the person who decided like what to stop, what not to stop, because I was the control deck.
Yeah, you have the counter spells, you have the sweepers, you have the removal.
Yeah, so people like didn't go for me, but the problem was like you can't control 3 other players with your control deck.
No.
So it actually ended up working, but you won less. You basically like were
your deck had more success but less overall wins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You did make the game somewhat fun because like you stopped anyone trying to combo you out. But as far as counter magic isn't good against three other players. It's like fine, but it's not like the best thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, it's, and in a 1v1 format, there's no politics. You can't talk someone into not killing you. You also can't you can't just sit back and like you can't have a slow start. You can't miss a land drop on turn 3. That's probably just it. If you miss a land drop on turn 3, because people still have high, your average casting cost card in your deck is going to be higher than a normal constructed deck, but your opponent is, they're going to be able, if they start playing their 6 drops and 7 drops before you, they're going to win. It's almost that simple.
Yeah, there's no Philogryph or Z-Drew in heads up. No one's gonna donate you a land or make you draw 5 cards.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So it's just, even if because it's different, because all of my decks are like tuned for multiplayer, right? And it's so different because like not only do your cards interact differently, like if I draw like a Sanguinate, which is one of the best cards in my mono black deck, it's pretty bad. It's just, I mean, that's like a drain life. It's literally just the card drain life against you. And I can't cast it for like 5 to gain 15 to just kind of like get people off my back from losing. If I do X = 5, it's like, all right, well that's like just drains you for 5 and I gain 5 and I just spent my whole turn doing that.
Yeah, not worth it. Not worth casting.
Yeah. And like specifically like my commander's Yahini, which it resolves around creatures that I don't control dying. Well, there's just less creatures.
A lot less, yeah.
One person, there's less creatures.
Yeah, I had very few creatures to begin with. So
the ones you did have, I killed those. But
they were important. It was like Jace Fringe Prodigy and Rashimi Turnscrafter.
I think I killed all of your creatures unless in a normal turn, unless you had a time walk turn.
You killed all of them except Glenlandra. Glenlandra was the only one that was like.
Yeah. Why I always killed Glenlandra once? Let's kill it once because
she's hard to kill.
The second time is tough.
Yeah.
But it is like it's different. It's not different bad, but it's different. And even if you don't tune your deck to be commander or single player, like you have to play it so differently.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And it was just hard for me to kind of get off the ground in anything because like my blue-white control deck, my Dragonlord Ojutai deck, like I'm ramping also, but my ramp is a lot less efficient than yours because you're playing green.
Yeah, but you also had counter magic too.
I did, but it's hard.
A lot more than me.
Sure, but when I tried to ramp one of the games, and this is ultimately the game that decided our match, I tried to ramp on turn and play 3 Dynamo on turn 4, and you commandeered it.
Oh god, yeah,
that was it. That was a 6 mana swing for the whole rest of the game. That was how you won. So if your experience was simply having Commandeer in your hand when I cast that spell, yes, your experience won the day.
Oh, that was great. It
was not. I was almost like, well, in normal situations, I would just concede here because this game's pretty much over. But I'll keep playing it out since, I made Ollie stay up so we could play.
It is true. We stayed for like 3 a.m. playing Commander.
It was not 3 a.m.
It was definitely at least 2. I remember getting in bed at like 2 something o'clock.
Maybe.
It definitely was.
Question of the week. Did we stay up until 2 a.m. playing Commander?
No.
No. See, I also vote no. That's 2 no votes.
No, that's not the question of the week.
That question of the week. Just kidding. That's not the question of the week.
No. But Commander was fun. The only thing I'm scared of is I know sometimes Time Walk effects can be very boring in 4 pods. So I don't know. Like that's like my favorite thing to do. But also understand that it's like if one person's taking like 2 turns, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah. Well, and just keep in mind that Commander players frequently have memory. And if you play a game with 3 other people and you take a few turns in a row and kill 2 or 3 people, there's a good shot you're not going to have an opportunity to do that next time you play.
You know what happens when you cast Time Walk and someone's not entertained? They literally slump down, sit back, and just like,
all right,
tell me you're done.
Yeah, tell me when you're done.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because they know it's not just one. It's never just one. You're not just doing it to untap your land. That's not how this works.
I'm a Time Warp fanatic. So
That's true. That's true. You get it honestly. It's not BS.
No, it's not. I love it.
Okay, so anything else on Commander today?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
But
all right.
One thing.
Okay.
All right. Kruphix is the best.
What?
Kruphix was first.
I said Erebos first.
No, but Kruphix was first.
But I said Erebos first.
He's the god of the gods. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so for real, this is not the question of the week, but you guys should let us know who sides more with their god, Ali with Kruphix or me with Erebos, based on how many copies of those cards are in their commander decks.
No,
keep in mind, Ollie's is 0 and mine is 1.
All right, before we go,
keep that in mind.
I'm reading two sentences. The reclusive Kruphix speaks rarely and counts few worshippers. He often takes no real form, but appears only as Nyx's filled space in the sky. And he loves his people, and he knows who they are. Ali Aintrazi.
Well,
that's it.
I don't think that's a real quote. I think you just said those words.
That's it.
Anyway, we do have one more section today, and this is the section I have personally been looking forward to for a while. We are going to be talking about Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Ali and I both saw this movie last week, so this is your first spoiler warning. This is where the director Choi puts the whistles in, like the sirens, to let you know there's a spoiler. So, pause.
It's not a cop behind you. It's a spoiler.
That's not. That's right. Spoilers. So, this is your warning. So, we are going to be back in just a moment to talk Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Bum 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 bum. You're supposed to what was that?
The Porgs.
Ugh.
Is that what they're called?
I guess. Is that what that's what they're called? Is that what they sound like?
I mean, that's my best imitation. I'll do it again.
Okay, one more time, yeah. Oh boy, yeah, that's okay. Yep, that was the noise. Yep, sure. That's a terrible noise.
I agree. I mean, the first couple times it's like kind of interesting and funny, but after like the 10th time, you're like, please stop.
So the Porgs, they're yeah, that was a part. They were a thing that happened.
They were a thing. So before we start, what were your thoughts about Star Wars: The Last Jedi?
So,
just general thoughts.
Okay. Once we got out of the theater, I was not entirely sure how I felt. And it took me a while, like throughout the day, to kind of unpack everything and look at the movie as a whole rather than as separate parts. Because this is a movie you can compartmentalize pretty well, as far as you can isolate the parts and say, I liked this part, I didn't like this part, because it's a lot of different stuff going on. I love Star Wars in general. Like I am a Star Wars fan. I've loved the movies since I was a little kid, so for 25 years now, since I saw the A New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. I've seen obviously all the prequels. I've seen like a movie that has Star Wars in the title probably like 50 times in my entire life combined.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. You've probably seen it like 7 times total.
Maybe, yeah.
But I love Star Wars. I legitimately do, and I was really looking forward to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I overhyped it, I think, on my own because I really liked The Force Awakens. I didn't think it was like it's not the best Star Wars movie, but it's not the worst. But I also know that there is a possibility for this franchise that there are bad movies that exist in it. So I always keep that little nugget in the back of my mind. So after I got out of this movie, I was just like, did I like that? And the answer ultimately is yes. The farther away I got away from this movie, in real time, the more that I liked it. I found more things I really enjoyed about it, and more things that I loved, and realized like this is what I love about Star Wars. They did a great job with this. Is it perfect? No, it's actually kind of different for a Star Wars movie because it's not like a cookie cutter Star Wars movie, which is good because that's not what you want. You don't want a cookie cutter Star Wars movie, but then it's like, am I complaining because it's too different because it's not what I expected? I don't know. Ultimately, I liked it. Did you?
Yeah, I'll get to my general thing before I guess we start debating.
Go ahead.
We're talking.
Sure.
I went in. I wasn't expecting much of anything. Like I was expecting some force, some lightsabers, just some scenes, some fight scenes, I guess. I like Star Wars, but I'm not as big a fan as Justin. So I went in. And then when I left, I knew I enjoyed the movie. I liked it. But I felt like something was missing, and I couldn't quite place my finger on it. Like, I didn't know exactly what was missing. The only thing that stood out was, like, I felt the Porgs were overdone. I don't think that's, like, the why I, that's what hit me. Like, and again, I like the movie, but I feel like the Porgs, like, the first couple of times, them screaming or being cute, that was cool. But after like the fifth scream, I was like, "Please stop! Someone shoot those things."
So you want to know a fun fact about the Porgs? Do you know
they were a cover up for the animals on the island?
Yeah, the puffins.
Man, I'm just psychic. It's like it's on it. Yeah, it's like Kruphix was talking to me.
He wasn't though. You probably read it online.
I don't know.
Anyway,
online or Kruphix,
but. Keep this in mind, Ali. The Porgs ultimately, if you added up all of the exact scene, if you added up all the moments they're on the screen, or if you can hear them, that's like 90 seconds of the whole movie.
It's a long time.
Not for this movie. It's 2.5 hours.
It's a long time of.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
It's a long time of that.
But seriously, I don't think you can, if the Porgs made you, if that affected how you felt about the movie this much, then, it affected
me. I don't think it was the main thing, but definitely affected me. It's like when we talked about Thor, Ragnarok, where the opening scene affected me.
Yeah, because you thought it was going to be an action movie and you got roped into it.
I don't want to give, in case people haven't watched Thor, I don't know if they ever know, but I don't want to, the opening scene just made me tilty, I guess. And the Porgs were similar. Like I like them. Like I love penguins. They look penguins, and they were great for the first couple times. But after a while, they got annoying. On top of that, there just wasn't enough. Like I was going in, I wanted more lightsaber fights or more force fights or force scenes, and there wasn't much of those. Like the ones that they had were great. Let me just say that.
Yes, the ones that they did have.
Were amazing. Were great. Like I was happy.
Fantastic. I think they're some of the best lightsaber battles that have existed in Star Wars.
But I just want more. That's it.
Yeah.
So that was like a little disappointing.
I actually agree with you on that point.
And then another thing I found little disappointing or annoying was Snoke. Like. I don't know much about Snoke. I know a little bit about him, but I know when I first heard about him, I started Googling and researching, trying to get his lore and trying to learn about him. And you learn that he's just kind of in the shadow, but very powerful and great and whatever. And I was hoping in the movie that he dies in, that you'd at least get to learn more about his backstory, why he became who he is, and what happened. And I just knew he was this powerful guy, and that's it. Like, I wish I knew more about him because he seems like a cool character.
So I wasn't sure how I felt about it in the moment, like when you were interacting with, like, up until the moment that he basically dies in the movie.
That was upsetting to me.
See, as the movie went on, I appreciated how that was handled more and more.
Why?
And I don't know if that's a popular opinion. Because, like, okay, so you're led to believe that you have this basically like Emperor Palpatine type character that's like this powerful Sith Lord that can control other people and has like these master plans, and basically like the puppet master of everything that's happening for the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
And 2/3 through the movie, he has this pretty awesome scene where he does normal bad guy stuff. He's like, I connected your minds, Kylo and Rey, and you're weak and I'm strong. You're dumb, I'm smart, blah, blah, blah.
No, but that fight was amazing. Like,
it was.
Him versus...
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not discounting that at all. But then he gets like chopped in half pretty unceremoniously, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That was just...
Yeah, but you're like, I want to know more about him. I realized it actually does... To me, it didn't matter. Because he's not the big bad. He's not this overarching villain. That scene and the story for this movie like cemented that no, this is Kylo Ren's story. Snoke is just a small bit character in his story. And the movie might have just like misdirected people, and The Force Awakens might have too, because he was kind of a mysterious character. And you don't learn much about him, but it doesn't matter because he's not important. Kylo is important. What Kylo is going to be doing with the First Order, that's important.
Well, he's going to have to do... Just seeing, like, Snoke's character and Kylo's character leaves a lot to be desired. Like, Snoke seemed like the Bolus type character where he was, like, smart, powerful, wise, calculated, and Kylo seemed like Gideon, but black. Just rush in, don't think, and stupid, and not that powerful.
I disagree. I think Kylo Ren's fantastic.
I thought Snoke was the much better villain than Kylo in this movie.
Maybe I could not disagree more.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I was so excited when they had the scene where Snoke dies, and then Kylo and Rey are fighting together against his guards, right?
Yeah.
I knew as soon as they started fighting, I was like, this is leading people to believe that like Kylo Ren is going to turn to the light side and him and Rey are going to be best buddies and blah, blah, blah. But I was like, no. I was like, Kylo wants everything for himself. He wants to be the one in charge. And then like when it finally happened and like Rey like stuck out her hand and when he stuck out her hand, be like, join me. And she's like, wait, what? What's happening? I thought we were like in this together and you're going to be good. And he was just never did that like even cross his mind that was a possibility.
Yeah.
Because
I was kind of
he feels like he's the chosen one. And like you saw him get so angry at Snoke when he was like, it's like, take that stupid mask off. You're no Vader. You're no Darth Vader.
Yeah,
and
but
that's literally that's the moment that he knew he was going to kill Snoke.
I like that because it's like making a child grow up. It was like,
stop. He grew up. He grew up and he cut him right in half.
He did cut him in half. But like that just annoyed me because like Snoke is supposed to be. Maybe I'm comparing Bolus to Snoke too much.
Why do you say he's supposed to be? Like, where are you getting that from? Why is he supposed to be?
Because he was shrouded in in power and.
Why is he supposed to be anything? He's not the main character of the story.
Because I understand that, but he was just so he was introduced in the story, and he was just super powerful. Like, he was like the strongest Force user that we know of, right? In this,
I don't think we know that.
In this story, at this point in time,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
And just getting dispatched so easily, like I would have loved it. Like, I would have liked it more if they actually if the Kylo and if they both basically just teamed up to beat him, that would have been more epic. If they somehow teamed up to beat him, that would have been like I would have loved that.
But see,
his death was just so
it was unceremonious.
I guess
it wasn't about him. That's the thing. Like, it just wasn't about Snoke at all. It's about Kylo, and he.
Listen,
and he's.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, that's fine. And that's like, honestly, I know there's more things that you didn't like, and there's more things that I liked. So I guess this is kind of where I want to say, if you're a listener and you watch this movie and you didn't like it and you're a Star Wars fan, I get it. I actually do legitimately get it, because I think this is a very divisive Star Wars film. I think there's a lot of things that you could be critical of, and a lot of it's just opinion and how you perceived what was happening in the story and on the screen. And if you didn't like it, I totally get it. If you loved it, I also get that. I can't remember a movie that has been like this, like, important in like popular culture, that it's not good and it's not bad. Like, just purely. Like, I think there are some movies that are like, this movie is generally great or this movie is generally bad. And there's small minorities for each opposing camp. But this one, there's like, if someone's just like, I hate this movie and here's all the reasons I hate it, I'm like, yeah, I get it.
All right, time out. We talk about some gosh darn unicorn magic. All right?
Okay.
You ready for this?
Hit me.
All right. So Leia is just floating in space.
Yeah.
She's. You ready for this? All right, good.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, she's frozen. Her eyes are closed.
Yep.
She looks dead. She's dead.
As far as we can tell.
And then, nope. Eyes open. Hand opens. Unicorn magic. She pulls herself to the freaking ship. And you hear Yondu in the background saying, "It's Mary fucking Poppins, y'all." Like, so Leia used this magic, or this force, and it was never readdressed. She just like flew through freaking space, and no one questioned it. Hey, did anyone else die? Yeah, only one that made it. Okay, but how did you make it? No.
It's not a secret that she is like force sensitive.
Okay, but did we know she could just do that? She's force sensitive, sure, but she literally just like pulled herself to the ship after being frozen in space and after being blown up and floating in space and was out there long enough to have like crystals all over her body or ice all over her body.
Sure.
Come on now, come on. Like, you have to be able to see. I don't know. All I heard was Yondu in the background again, just talking about Mary Poppins, and that's what that reminded me of.
I would be lying if I didn't say that this was my least favorite part of the movie, because it was.
Okay, there we go. See, so all my negatives I hit pretty good. You agree with me on the lightsabers.
There just weren't enough. But see, we're complaining. It's like, this is so awesome, I want more.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, ultimately, again, I liked the movie.
Porgs I don't care about.
Yeah. Like, I like the movie. These are just the small things that, like...
I'm actually not... I'm not mad that Leia used the Force. It did look kind of dumb and got back into the ship after she was blown out. I'm mad because I think it's a poor storytelling. The movie is that much better if Leia Organa dies there. The movie's much better.
Yes.
You don't lose anything. She's like not even a critical character.
I 100% agree with you.
It's such a more galvanizing point if she just dies there. And it's totally fine. That's a fine time for her to go.
I agree with that.
I'm ignoring.
When she came back, like this is unnecessary. Like she should just be dead.
It was unnecessary. And not only was it unnecessary, I think it made the movie worse. I want to see a cut of this movie where Leia's just dead.
Yeah, because it gives you the whole power struggle of light and dark between Kylo, because he didn't pull the trigger.
Exactly. So much, and that's really important. Not only did he not pull the trigger, he went back to Snoke and he said, "It's done." So even though he didn't pull the trigger for the First Order, he can take credit for killing Princess Leia, even though he knows he didn't do it. And on the other side, they think he killed Princess Leia. So even if he's like, if Rey's like trying to come after him and kill him because he's like, "You murderer, you killed your parents," he can be like, I didn't kill her, and then no one believes him. Like, no one believes him when he's telling the truth, and then everyone believes him when he's lying, so he's like caught between both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it's very polarizing. It would have been very good. Another thing too was like when Leia was out, there was that new person in charge. I can't remember her name. Person with purple hair.
Purple hair, yeah. Hold out.
I can't remember her name, but I was also like, this wasn't too big a deal, but I was kind of upset that like she was like, I understand why she did it. She was like, "Leia, you go. I'll sacrifice myself." Obviously, Leia has a face and people love her, and she's just been around forever. But at the same time, you'd think that the old person would be like, "Yeah, we have this mindset of like, the old person should
sacrifice themselves."
Yes,
she should.
And that's just
they had multiple moments in this movie. Like that would have been like that's like a perfect time. That's a perfect time to transfer like power from Leia
the torch.
It would have been.
Yeah, I mean, like I understand why she'd let Leia live. Like it's very like that's what the general that's under Leia would say. Like, "Hey, you go live. You are the leader. People know you.
You're the general."
And the old person should be like, "No, I'm wiser than you are. I'm smarter. I'm getting old. We need a new leader. And by you saying that to me, I know you're worthwhile. Go."
Yeah, you're right.
But overall though, like, the movie was great. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed seeing Yoda for a brief second, so that was nice too.
The only thing, like honestly, and I want to be clear that when I'm talking about Princess Leia, I'm talking about the character, and I'm not talking about Carrie Fisher, who passed away. And I'm glad this movie was like dedicated to her in her honor, and I think that's awesome. But I don't like. I think Leia was like the worst character in the entire movie. I mean, I hate to say that. The only moment that I enjoyed with Leia is when like Luke came back kinda and had that short moment with her. Yeah. And they interacted like they did 30 years back before. When? Yeah, and that was awesome. And I did like that. But I don't know. I'm actually really excited for the next movie because I think that the best characters in this movie were Rey and Kylo Ren. I don't even think it was particularly close. Remotely. I was go ahead.
I'll say I was super interested. I was super interested in just Snoke, but because I just wanted to know more about him. But that's about it.
I think that I actually think this is going to be a controversial statement that I'm sure people are going to give me crap over. I think Rey is the best hero in any Star Wars movie. Just period.
Why?
Because she's legit. She doesn't have this this lineage of destiny to be an all-powerful Jedi. She's just come from nothing. And
literally from nothing.
And which that scene was awesome, by the way. That whole part was awesome, but the fact when Kylo was like, you know the truth, you can just say it, right? Like your parents are nothing. Yeah. They're literally alcoholics. Yeah. They traded you for wine. Like you are literally worthless. You're nothing.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
She still wanted to do good too.
Yes. And she knew that in her heart. And Kylo knew that she knew. And it didn't matter. Because she is literally like the hero that is not was not destined, but has worked and cares, and it's like in her heart that she can be powerful, that she can be more in tune with the Force, as in tune with the Force on the light side that Kylo is, like according to Luke Skywalker, who is obviously one of the most powerful Jedis.
Yeah.
Arguably, but that's a whole different conversation. And she's not annoying at all.
She's not. I'll say I think what's cool is that she had all the beginnings to go to the dark side, to be tempted by the dark side.
Easily.
Yes, and Kylo was opposite. Like, Kylo had a loving family. Like, his father was great, his mother was great, and he went dark side. It was just like, it basically just says...
two ships passing in the night, essentially.
Yeah, but it's also saying, like, it doesn't matter... Like, your beginnings matter, obviously, but ultimately it's what you decide to do with your life that matters.
He came from everything. She came from nothing.
From nothing, yeah. And you decided to do good. Yeah.
And they're equals, essentially.
Yes. Yeah, and now they're literally just choosing to do whatever. Like, Kylo decided to kill his father. He decided to go to the dark side. And Ren did not. So, like, not Ren,
Rey.
Rey, yeah.
Yeah, I think Rey was awesome. I loved every single scene that she was in where she was the focus. I liked every scene that Kylo was in where he was the focus. I don't think he's the best villain ever. Darth Vader's the best villain ever. Still, he never will. That won't be topped. But I do think that Rey is actually the best hero that we've seen in a Star Wars movie, period. I think she's awesome. She can fight. She, like Daisy Ridley, plays her extremely well. She is an excellent, like, physical actor where she doesn't always have to speak to be extremely, like, emotional and, like, command the screen. And she's, I don't know, the character's really well written, and Daisy really does an awesome job with her. So that's why I'm really excited. Like, that's my main reason for being excited about episode 9, because it's going to be about those two.
Yep. I mean, I like Rey. Kylo just was an annoying brat to me. I didn't enjoy his scenes really. He just temper tantrum. Reminded me of a child, like, crying and kicking his feet and legs on the floor, just like, grow up. Like, that's what I like. I loved when Snoke was like, take off that gosh darn mask. Like, be who you are. Like, stop being a baby.
Yeah, but see, he is young and he is a child, but he's so powerful that he's like but he's like stuck between this, like, this young adult where he's still, like, trying to find himself and being the most powerful person in the galaxy. Which is crazy.
I just find it annoying. I find it super annoying to me. That's like, it's that thing where, like, I don't know. Maybe it's that thing where, like, you know, it's like, hey, you have great power, and the hero's like, I don't want this power. It's not exactly that, but it reminds me of that.
I don't know. I think he's a really dynamic villain because it's not clear that he's necessarily a villain, and there's this pull that makes him not want to be, but he's fighting so hard to be bad.
He
he knows it. And I think that's what makes him engaging.
Well, there's one time in the movie where I turned to you, I was like, man, what if Kylo becomes actually good and Rey becomes evil?
Yeah.
I was obviously it didn't play out like that, but that would have been cool too, I think.
That actually would have been cool. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, this still felt like to me, this was still a Star Wars movie, despite, like, these faults that we've talked about.
I get that too.
There's still awesome space battles. I think one of the coolest scenes in the movie is when Admiral Holdo put the ship into light speed and then tore through all of the Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
With no sound. Like, the movie had no like, it was on mute, essentially.
That's great.
It looked awesome.
Yeah.
There were a lot of cool creatures. I know you didn't like the Porgs, but, like,
I like them. They're just overdone.
Yeah, sure. I love the little crystal foxes. They were great.
Yes, they were great.
I really liked all the different creatures on the like the fancy place planet.
Yeah.
And, like,
yes, that's the Vegas planet. I call it Vegas.
Yeah, the Vegas planet.
Yeah.
The High Rollers planet. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. That was a great location. And the last scene that was like the salt planet, the salt mining planet, that looked awesome. Like it was just
Yeah.
visually just looked amazing.
The only creature that made me like kind of gross out was the cow type creature, where Luke just
Where,
got
Where
milk.
Luke gets the green milk
Yeah, yeah. It was mostly because it was green and he just drank it right away.
right out of the
Not
nipple.
so much the creature.
Right out of
Yeah,
the nipple.
yeah, yeah. I love the things that were keeping the Jedi structure together, and Rey just kept like destroying it, and like they were kind of angry at her.
Oh yeah, the little like the little
Yeah,
the fishy
whatever they
innkeeper
were.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just great. They're
yeah,
great
I
too.
liked those two. I liked it.
Yeah,
I felt like a lot of jokes in this movie didn't land, but I don't
that's
know.
okay.
I think it's probably just because I'm getting older.
Maybe.
Legit, I mean, really, like I think this movie would be hilarious to kids, and I thought it was like somewhat funny, but some of the things I didn't like. Like none of Poe Dameron's jokes. I don't think I laughed at a single one.
We're just jaded.
Yeah, probably. I mean, probably so. Probably
All
so.
right.
Here's actually. So I have a good quote about that. And this was someone on Twitter. It was Michelle Baker, who's just an author for a book series. But she tweeted, "Look, certain subset of Star Wars fans. Star Wars is about the same stuff as it was when you were a kid. It's not the franchise's fault you grew up to join the Empire." And I think that's like honestly such a great statement because it's like this hasn't changed. We've changed. Like I've changed as a viewer and as a person. So what I enjoy and what I look at is different than it was when I was 6 years old, 7 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old,
Yeah, yeah.
etc.
To be fair, like now too, the fans are the critics. Like
Yeah, for the most part.
they're the critics. Yeah, so it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I like. I'm falling just sort of saying I love this movie, but I really liked it.
All right. Speaking of that, you ready to move on to?
Question of the week.
Yes.
Yes, I'm ready to move on to question of the week.
All right. If you've seen The Last Jedi, will you see it again in theaters?
Now, obviously, Ollie knows that I've seen The Last Jedi and he's seen The Last Jedi, but obviously this question is for you, our audience. So, if you've seen this movie, will you see it again in theaters? I'm going to see it again in theaters. Actually, I'm going to see it tomorrow again.
And I'm going to say no. I will not see the movie again in theaters.
We don't have a lot of debate on this one. I really liked this movie. Ollie liked it enough.
My only thing is I felt it was... I liked it, but I felt like it was very fillerish. It was getting you ready for the future. Or the next episode or whatever.
Yeah.
Next couple episodes. It was like setting up. And while that's kind of important, it's still kind of boring. Like there's times when you're watching TV or series and you run into the filler part, you're just like, okay, is everyone can skip through this? Like you don't want to, but you kind of fast forward a little bit maybe. So that's what I felt like about here. Like I would not watch it again in theaters. I might like read through it or watch it real quick to catch up for the next one. Probably not, but maybe. But definitely not in theaters. I would not watch it again in theaters. Maybe at home, but not in theaters again.
I'm gonna pay to go see it tomorrow again because I want to look at it without having to pay attention to the story because there's a lot going on in the story. We didn't even talk about like the Finn and Rose little side quest that they had. We didn't talk about Benicio del Toro's character. We barely touched on Luke Skywalker, which is obviously a huge part of this movie. I liked Mark Hamill's performance. I don't think he had a lot to work with, but I also realized Luke is not a likable character. Like Luke Skywalker is just not like he's not like he's kind of hard to root for.
Yeah, he is.
But to Mark Hamill's credit, I think he does a really good job with that character because he's like perfect. He's the only person that can ever play that person. So I'm going to see it again. I'm going to see it again in theaters. Will you beautiful, beautiful listeners, are you going to be seeing The Last Jedi again if you've seen it one time? Ollie says no. I say yes. You can let us know at jparnell1 on Twitter, at Ali Aintrazi on Twice, at ThinktwiceMTG on Twitter. One of us will be posting the question of the week when this episode goes live for the general public. Anything else, Ali?
That's all I got. I say no, obviously. That's all I got. Let us know what your thoughts are. Make sure you vote.
Yeah, and I want to know personally, since I did really like this movie, I want to know what you guys all liked about this movie. So let us know when we post this question of the week, and I'll respond. I'd love to talk about this with people. So, all right, but that is the show this week, guys. So we will be back in just a moment to do our wrap up. All right, Ali. It's the holiday season. We got Christmas coming up. We got New Year's coming up. What's going to be going on in the Olliville?
Olliville?
Yes,
Olliville's
that's where
having
you live, in Olliville.
Olliville, it is. We're gonna have a lot of Christmas stuff. Christmas with Emily's side of the family, Christmas with my family, getting kids gifts, and honestly, this holiday is kind of cool. But I'm just ready for it to be. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready for the new year. I'm ready for Christmas to be done. I'm, over Halloween and Thanksgiving.
No more holidays. You just want to be just regular old middle of January.
Yeah, it's so much, man. It's so much with kids and everything at the end of the year.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Yep.
That's true.
What about you? What are you doing?
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna travel this weekend to see my dad's side of the family, and then next weekend to see my mom's side of the family. So traveling,
Yeah, same.
driving, just driving a bunch, like so many weekends in a row. But it's all good. That's what it's about, and I don't get to see them very often, so I do appreciate these moments, especially as like some of my family members get older. It's reminder to everyone: appreciate the people that you have while you have them, especially during the holiday time, because for better or worse, not everyone will be there forever.
That's true. Love the ones you got.
Yeah,
because we love you too.
That's true for real. Ollie, where can people find you?
You can find me at twitter.com/Ali Aintrazi, twitch.com/Ali Aintrazi. That's where you will subscribe to me with your Amazon Prime account. Don't forget that. And you can find my articles on gatheringmagic.com. They come out every Friday.
Excellent.
And this one, I guess, if you are listening to this, you should go check it out because my article is about a pyro prison deck. If you Justin watched me get destroyed, I was playing lane control, and someone put me in a sleeper hold instead of me putting them, and it was savage. This deck, I think, is well positioned. I talk about it in its matchups. It's just about that deck. You should definitely check it out. I think it's a sleeper in the modern format.
A sleeper hold for you.
A sleeper hold. Yeah, deck looks annoying, but very powerful.
Yeah.
What about you, Parnell? Where can people find you?
You can also find me on Twitter at jparnell1, of course, and on StarCityGames.com and YouTube. Commander vs. Series. We're in a little holiday break right now, but we will have a brand spanking new episode come out shortly after you listen to this podcast. If you're listening to it in real time, you should watch that for sure. For sure. And of course, if you want to contact the show, you can contact us at ThinktwiceMTG on Twitter, or you can email the show, thinktwicemtg@gmail.com. If you're looking for different platforms to listen to the show, you can find us on SoundCloud, you can find us on iTunes, you can find us on YouTube. We'd love for you to leave a comment in any of those spaces. We'd love for you to leave a review on iTunes, a like, a share, a subscribe on YouTube. We just want to get the name out, We want people to hear about this podcast as we continue to grow and develop and do the stuff that you guys want to do. Like next week, we're going to be talking about our year in review in magic and pop culture, and the future of this podcast, and kind of our plans for 2018. And
don't miss that. You won't miss that one.
Yeah, you definitely don't. We actually have a lot to talk about next week. I'm really excited about next week's episode because we're kind of laying the groundwork for everything. And a big part of that is actually what we're going to be doing with our Patreon, and that is going to be changing a little bit. That we'll reveal next week. But for now, you can support the show on patreon.com/thinktwice MTG. We currently have 2 rewards tiers, a $1 Augur Bolus tier, a $5 Disciple Bolus tier. You can join in on those if you'd like to support the show. And we actually do have a new Disciple Bolus tier Patreon supporter, Liam W. Thank you, Liam, very, very much for your support. We can't do it with you. We can't do it without you, and we can't do it without the rest of our Patreon supporters. You guys have literally been awesome, and you're going to allow us to have a really awesome 2018, and we are going to share the awesomeness with you. I'm actually, Ollie, I know I'll speak for both of us, and I'm sure you'll reiterate. I'm super excited to share our plans.
I am too.
Like legit excited. Like I wish we could tell people now, but we'll wait till next week.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is like we are putting everything back into this podcast right now.
Yes.
We're trying to make it the best it can be for you guys. So we got a lot of sweet things. A lot of sweet things that
a lot of real sweet things.
I don't want to get into, but it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yes.
We're gonna reshape a lot of things. It's gonna be fun for us, and I'm sure it's gonna be fun for you too. So hope you guys enjoy it, and make sure to tune in next week.
Definitely. But Ollie, that's the show. That's the show for today. Can you believe it?
I know it's
almost done.
Crazy.
We're almost to the end of the year. We're almost to a quarter century in episodes. This is episode 23. The beginning of next year, we're gonna have episode 24 next week, and then the beginning of 2018 is episode 25, and then we're off to the races, buddy.
Yeah, man. It's like Kruphix. We should know it all.
No, I don't. I mean, sure. Or Erebos, whatever you want to do. But Ollie, I love you. I love our listeners. I love our director and producer John Shea and our graphic designer Amber West. You're all awesome. You're awesome. Folks that help us make the show are awesome.
Yeah. Also, everyone, happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate, we won't see you for Christmas, after Christmas. So enjoy your holidays with your family and friends, and we'll catch you next week.
Yep. Love you guys.